Hey, welcome back to Packaged Opinions. This is episode 8. My name is Garrett King.
Ashley Ornalis.
Heyo, and we are doing a super quick episode today, not really special topics. Ashley is on her way for 2 weeks to Bali starting tonight. So cool. We'll expense the pleasantries because you got to get the hell out of here, but we do have a couple of things we wanted to hit before we go. Okay, so a la Scott Galloway, let's bust right into this. I want to hit one real quick on GoPuff launching a new wing of their business because I think there's something interesting here. Okay, cool. So first off, yeah, you good. Don't worry. For anyone who's not familiar with GoPuff, last mile provider here in the United States, think super rapid delivery and typically of very small product quantities. Like you're not going to be buying a family size bag of Doritos or what have you. It might be an individual size, an individual can of Arizona iced tea, etc. They have quite a bit of popularity with Gen Z. Their average basket size is typically not that big, but you pay a significant premium for those small pack sizes delivered rapidly. So GoPuff is launching Go XL, which is adding 300 or more bulk items to their catalog. They think that it can help them reach up to 50% lower price per unit compared to the single serve offering that they typically had. And I thought this was really interesting. They have a 30-pound weight limit for bicycle deliveries. Like they had to think about that for how often bicycle is a part of their delivery mix. So a couple of examples. One, normally, if you wanted to get Uncrustables on GoPuff, you might have paid $1.99 for a single Uncrustable. Or now, using Go XL, they are going to offer you a 10 count for $9.99, which would be 50% off per unit. Another example, which I thought was even funnier, they used to sell you a single Pop-Tart for $1.99. Maybe that's like the 2-count sleeve that you find in a convenience store. Don't ask me how I know that. Now
Like
they
an
will,
auto?
trust me. Now they will sell you a 6-pack for $5.89, which is right around half, 50% off. Think toilet paper, a case of Coca-Cola, and their guidance on this one is that it's not going to be a margin driver. They are going to make less money on these bigger packs, but they think this is a way to get sort of out of that like single serve only business model. And they also are calling out some things about tariffs and economic sentiment, and they want to try to offer better values to people. So I think it's going to work for them. Ashley, what do you think?
I think this is interesting. I don't know much about GoPuff to begin with, and you probably actually know more. But like, do they just break apart packs today to do single serves?
To my knowledge, yes. GoPuff is a little bit different from some of these other intermediaries in that they like to own their own inventory versus being like an Instacart, what have you, that just functions as an intermediary but never owns the product. GoPuff buys product. And so my guess is they've kind of tailored their assortment towards things that can be sold as individuals. 12 count case of bottled Coca-Cola. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, this one, I see pros and cons too. Like, do I think it'll work for them? Potentially. I think they're obviously trying to get into a space where they're competing head to head with an Instacart or a DoorDash or something of the sort. In which case, one, it's going to cost them a lot more money to do so, just from an inventory perspective, a holding perspective, etc. And a transportation perspective. And then two, I just wonder if they're too late to the game. Like I know where they're trying to go. I just wonder if it's already way too saturated. I don't know like how many people use GoPuff today or if they have really strong relevancy or not.
It's a smaller but fast-growing business. I tend to agree with you on this one. I think the inventory carry costs may be a little bit difficult. The one place that I might pause, or where I think they might get some legs on this one, is they have an over-index with Gen Z. It's already sort of a little bit more part of their shopping approach than it ever is for somebody like you or me. Perhaps this gives them even more traction with that demographic. And their competition, Instacart also just launched a secondary app. I can't remember what this thing is called, but it's all about party planning with a group of friends. So imagine like a group grocery order for a social event where you add to the grocery list and it gets delivered by Instacart. It looks cool. I gotta find the name of it. I'll look it up while you're talking. It's
This
very
is genius.
colorful.
Bachelor party out there. Like, gee, we do it already. So
I'm looking it up right now. Okay, it's an app called Fizz, and it's kind of alcohol focused for you to make group orders of drinks and party snacks.
I love that.
That's a really good idea. I don't know. I know we always say let's watch this. That to me is the niche that I think this works on.
I think Fizz has more legs than GoPuff expanding.
Okay. All right. Wait till you see the app. It's very cool looking.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's genius. It's one reason why I use DoorDash so much is DoorDash allows you to do group ordering. and then you individually like get a receipt and everything. So I really like DoorDash for that reason. It's like if I'm having people over for a movie night or something, all of us can order whatever we want from the menu without like passing a phone around.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
What do you get on the group order?
There's this chicken pasta salad from a local place that is insane. So that's what I
Got
get.
it. So it's not just like the bulk size tub of Twizzlers.
No, no, I'm a healthy eater. Come on.
I know. And you don't get Nerds ropes.
No, but have you tried the new Nerds like pot bite-sized things?
No, I'm a healthy eater. Gross. No, of course I would try it.
Have you had them before though? The
No, but I
little like
will.
oh, please do. They are insane. I'm gonna send them to you.
Very good. I'll buy that. Okay. Hey, tell me about AI.
Ooh, AI. All right. So we've been talking a lot about AI, what people are up to, and I think we've also been talking a lot about shopper behavior and like how the way people are shopping is starting to change and how retailers are influencing that. I think one we talked about a few weeks ago was Amazon and how like they're changing a lot of their betas and algorithms and whatnot to influence a different shopping behavior. And I think now you're starting to see ChatGPT come to life to adjust how they are presenting data to be a little bit more shopper friendly. So this topic is specifically about ChatGPT and how people are using it today and how they are starting to pivot a little bit. But what's interesting is that ChatGPT is starting to offer a lot more ability to product shop for you, provide selections for you, give you details of every product, pricing, give you links of where to purchase, ratings and reviews, etc. So it truly is becoming like a hub of where you can discover new products, if you will. And I think this is going to catch on really fast. I think right now you have shoppers that are going to like a Google or an Amazon to start their search journey and start their product discovery. And I think now ChatGPT is in the mix in so many other places that it's just an easy fit for shoppers to adapt and start their shopper journey here. But what they noted in the article was that they already have 1 billion searches a week, which I think is wild to me. I don't know why, but I just think it's crazy. It's a really big number. And that the amount of people that have really leaned into ChatGPT to learn new things, or I gave you the example, I use it for recipes and grocery shopping. So I'll be really curious to see how this changes shopper behavior, where they start their journey, where they start to discover new products, and how other retailers start to react to that. Because you're seeing right now, like Walmart's doing a lot with AI and search to improve the shopper journey. Amazon's obviously very proactive in that space, Google as well. So with ChatGPT coming in, I'm curious like what model will win. Do you have any bets on who will win?
ChatGPT has such a commanding lead. Like the guys at OpenAI they're just so far ahead. I think your winners will be, I think they're the one new big winner in all of this. And then I think Google will figure it out and Amazon will figure it out. I think like the demise of Google has been a little bit exaggerated. Like they had a pretty sizable stock drop last week when Eddie Q took the stand in that antitrust trial and said that for the first time ever, I think the stat was searches using the search bar on Safari declined quarter over quarter, like for the first time in the history of Apple devices. And his rationale was that people are using chat or LLMs a lot more. So I think everybody was like, okay, Google's dead. Like they're on the way down. I don't know. There's a lot of smart people at that company. And if I remember correctly, the stat was for every one query on ChatGPT, 36 searches happen on Google. So they still have,
Mm.
I think you could look at it both ways. Like on one hand, they have a huge lead. But on the other hand, pretty cool to get 1/36th of Google this early in the game. You know what I mean? Like it's not like Google's easy to compete with.
Yeah.
So I think those would be my big three. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think AI is so scary to a lot of people. And so I feel like the earlier you get into the game, the more loyalty you'll have. So I just feel like they're going to crush it and then, Google's going to try and come in and it's going to be a really tough challenge, I would say. They'll have to offer up like a really superior experience, I think, which ChatGPT is already improving the experience and also can do images, etc. So I think they are at the forefront. And I also think like it's gonna go one of two ways. It's either gonna be super successful or people are still too scared for AI to really lean in and adopt this in a big way. And Google and Amazon still survive for the next few years.
Man, that's a really good point. Who is better positioned to figure it out for mobile, Apple or Google? Like to make it more a core part of how their phones work. Like who would you bet on?
I
Would
think
you?
I don't know, actually. Maybe Google. It's more of Google's expertise, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Apple's had kind of a PR, maybe not nightmare, but the last 60 days has been pretty bumpy for them with how many delays they've had on the new Siri that feeds in all the AI capabilities. Like, I mean, how important is Apple Intelligence to your life on your iPhone 16? A lot? A little? Like, do you use any of those capabilities very much? No? I don't know. They're 10 months in or whatever it is since they launched. It's 8 months in. My gut instinct would say don't bet against Apple, but AI seems to be a tough challenge for them right now. So,
Yeah. And Google has Gemini, right? They've already kind of gone into
yeah.
that.
And it's not bad. Like, I've used it and gotten decent results out of it.
Have you used both? Like which one
Yeah,
do you
I prefer ChatGPT. I think like the voice mode is just better, and I just like the user interface a little bit better. But Gemini's good.
I was gonna say the same. I think ChatGPT for me is just it's usually my go-to and I don't why other than like it's the most comfortable to use. The other thing that came to mind as we were talking to is I guess OpenAI's ability to then monetize. So if someone does truly lean into ChatGPT, they can start doing sponsored placements the same way everyone else does. And that, like outside of subscriptions for the service itself, you can start monetizing with advertising.
Seeing how advertising does or doesn't get its hooks into these LLMs over the next 3 to 5 years is going to be just absolutely fascinating because it feels like it's coming. How quickly and how they land it, that I don't know. Golly, because the ad giants, if traffic declines, they will need to find other revenue streams. Pretty good idea of where to look.
Yeah. Yeah, and Amazon's already starting to test like monetizing their form of the AI shopping, which so I think it's only a matter of time, which will make the dynamics in the industry very interesting to watch.
Buckle up. So fascinating.
I know.
Okay, cool.
Speaking of dynamics and change of just the industry in general, you found an article on McDonald's. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, yes. I want to hit at something on the fast food business, specifically McDonald's. They just had their Q1 earnings call and it was not good. And I think there's some interesting things happening in this product category. So, McDonald's Q1, they called out a 38.6% drop in Q1 sales year over year. It was their steepest decline since COVID. The CEO, Chris Kempczynski, said that lower and middle income consumers are the ones that pulled back the most. And when I cross referenced what kind of results McDonald's was seeing, compared to some of their peer set, they're not alone. They just happen to be kind of the rockiest numbers. Pizza Hut US was down 2% year over year. KFC US was down 1% year over year. Burger King 1% down year over year. Domino's down 0.5%, etc. Burger King called out macro noise driving further softness, which is like a real word salad. Like, what do we mean by this? I will
Mm-hmm.
say there is one outlier, and I feel I am getting completely inundated with their advertisements, and their Q1 was plus 9% year over year, and they are certainly a competitor to all of these restaurants. Do you know who it is? If you're watching live sports, you're getting hammered with their ads right now.
I don't watch live sports, so I don't know.
Good old Taco Bell, plus 9% Q1.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love Taco Bell.
me too. Me too. So they're on a really nice hot streak. CEO David Gibbs said it's a tough operating environment for everybody else in the industry, but it is an environment that favors Taco Bell. Why? I don't know. But they're having really, really good results. So I have a couple of questions for you. First one is GLP-1 something that none of these companies are talking about?
Interesting. But what's interesting is where is the demographics of the leakage that they're seeing.
Hmm,
Those two don't really correlate,
that's a good point.
but it is very interesting, and I think probably likely impacting it in some degree. Yes.
There's got to be something in there. When I see like really broad statements like macro softness, you know what I mean? There's a whole lot of things that could fall under that. And I doubt any CEO for a large quick serve restaurant chain like that wants to talk about GLP-1 as a driver because you don't want to acknowledge that because that's going to scare Wall Street, would be my guess.
Yeah.
But I kind of just want to put my stance out there. I think in a year or two, they will start talking about it, especially if those drugs start coming down in price per dose, which I think is still pretty expensive. I'm not an expert on that category, but it just seems like it'll have an impact.
So I think there's some new laws or regulations, and I'm not an expert in this, so no one quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's going to become harder to get. So I'll be curious to see if that changes some of the trends.
Okay. Well, either way, whether GLP-1 is playing a role or not, one of the things that is certainly in the mix for these guys is economic uncertainty, which I think is affecting so many, industries right now. You did nail it though on you don't think GLP-1 is a big driver here potentially because disproportionately the drop off is coming from lower and middle income consumers. I think that's a really good point.
Where are they going?
I don't know. Is it just like general belt tightening and cooking at home more to save money? Is it
Like groceries more expensive with
That's a good
inflation,
point.
and fast food is more affordable.
It's a really good point. I don't know. The only winner I know of, in addition to Taco Bell, is remember how we were seeing a bunch of things last year about how Chili's had turned around their entire business because of that burger deal that they did?
Yeah.
So maybe Chili's is soaking up all of it.
Well, you know what? It actually is. I feel like we need to do a part two to this. I watched a whole documentary on the rise of Chili's and how they've completely rebranded and what they've done outside of the burger. But truly, they were going after. It has to be that. You're 100% right. It has to be that. They were going after McDonald's and Burger King and all of the other places. So, and they were getting a lot of traction. I think there's something there. Maybe we do a part two.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's pick that one up when you get back from Bali.
Okay, but
All
on the
right.
I want to know why Taco Bell is winning, other than they keep doing a bunch of innovation, which could be that. They keep launching a bunch of new stuff.
Honestly, that was going to be the exact same thing that I saw. Like they are hammering it on launching new things and various combo packages. I feel like every time I see the new Lux Craving box is the one that I keep seeing a lot of ads for while I'm watching hockey. The other thing, I just think their ads are good. And they get lots of recognizable people, like Devontae Adams for the Raiders. I guess now the Jets was in there for a minute. Pete Davidson was doing their ads for quite a while. Yeah, I think whoever's doing their art direction and their creative, they're just yeah, good ads.
Yeah, they're doing great.
I also have one data point that when I read it, I thought that was kind of misleading, and I wanted to see if you agreed with me on this.
Okay, this whole article feels very vague, but yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so let me tell you a number that I read, and you tell me, yeah, I buy that or not. Yum Brands, the parent company for KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, etc., says that 55% of their orders are digital. Guess what that includes?
Tell me.
The kiosks in their restaurants that you have to use the touchscreens on.
Well, okay, I wasn't gonna argue it. 55 seems very high. The kiosk, I believe, is inflating that. But what I do think might be driving some of that is they offer a lot of benefits and promo through their app. So, and every time you order, and I know this because I just went through a Taco Bell, every single time you order, um, they ask you if you're using their loyalty, if you're using their app to purchase. Same thing with McDonald's. So if someone is already price sensitive and looking for a deal, I imagine the app is probably driving. It's probably pretty successful for them.
Okay. Well, maybe apps for these restaurant chains is bigger than I thought. Go on.
Also, I don't know if this includes like airports and everything too, but typically, like even at my location in the evening, if you want to order, you're never going to get attention from anyone. So like you have 3 or 4 kiosks to pick from and like that's it.
So you kind of have to.
You're kind of forced to. Yeah.
All right, good to know. Maybe I need to pay closer attention to the apps for these restaurants that offer them. Chick-fil-A app feels like it gives you a deal quite free.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A is pretty good.
Chick-fil-A is pretty good. I love Chick-fil-A. Cool. I think that's it for us today, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. This is very
Okay.
20 minutes, but it was fun. Thank you.
That was a rapid fire episode. Nice work. We'll land this one right on schedule. This has been Packaged Opinions, episode 8. My name is Garrett King.
Ashley Ornelas.
We've backlogged a few episodes so that we can keep putting things out there while Ashley is in Bali. Have an awesome time for the next 2 weeks. Take care. Don't think about podcasting or anything else. Just have a good time. Yeah, go crush it.
There and see if you want to record.
If you want to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah, I might do it. I might. It depends on like the timing difference, but we'll figure it out when I get there.
Yeah, maybe it's like a morning for me, evening for you, or vice versa. You know what I mean? We'll figure out time zones.
Yeah.
All right, very good. We're going to wrap this one up. Everybody, have a very nice day. Give us feedback if you have any. We're certainly open to it. And yeah, we'll put another one out in the next couple of weeks.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, y'all. Bye.